Are you looking to do deals and master flipping houses? Welcome to the DoDeals Show with our host, Mr. Tim Mai. As a successful investor and mentor to many real estate investors, Tim's students consistently run 6- and 7-figure investing businesses. Each week, you'll hear from top real estate investors who share the best strategies, systems, and secrets that you can use to be more successful. Tim and his guests will pull back the curtain for you to learn their exact tactics, tricks, and tools that are working best right now in today's real estate market. Now, let's welcome Mr. Tim Mai.
Hello everybody, welcome to another Heroes Mastermind interview. I'm your host Tim Mai. Today I have my good friend and real estate mavericks, an amazing real estate entrepreneur, Mike Fitzgerald. And Mike, started real estate investing only, 12 years ago, but he's going to share with us all the things he has been able to accomplish in the last 12 years. Absolutely amazing. Mike, welcome, buddy.
Hi, how's it going today, Tim?
Going good. All right,
I'm so excited to be here. Everybody's going to have to excuse me today. I'm a real estate maverick, but I hyper-focus, but I got this thing called ADHD. I think it's a gift, So if I start talking today and say, hey, let's go ride a bike, look at that squirrel, what's going on over there? Everybody excuse me. I used to, when I tried taking medicine for it, the 2 or 3 days I actually did, I'd come to my office and I'd say, oh my gosh, I got so much to do. But when I don't take medicine, I'm like, it's hyper ninja, boom, 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 I get it done. So Tim, allow me to introduce myself. Mike Fitzgerald. How's everybody doing today?
Perfect. Awesome. All right, Mike, well, share with us, like how did you get started? All right, how did you go from rags to?
It all started out like this. I was 4 years old, and I wandered off. And my mom found me on a construction project like 50 feet away, and I was asking the people how much things cost. Then when I was 9 and 10, I had a paper route. I sold a couple thousand new customers, won every contest the Herald Mail had. Hey, and almost everybody bought one from me. I explained it was only $3 for the Sunday paper, and I got $2 for every new subscription.
Oh, wow.
And then before I was 18, I had 10-plus jobs. I always worked, played sports, went into the military 3 years because my dad said what I have to do to be successful in life is I have to go into the military 20 years and work a job for 20 years, so I had 2 pensions coming in. So my first 2 years in real estate, he said, well, now you got lucky, son. Now what you need to go is work 2 jobs, one for 20 years and a second one for 20 years. And then when you're 65, you'll have 2 pensions coming in, you'll be set. But when my military career, when my term came to an end, I talked my way into a job auditing I was supposed to have a 2-year degree for. And then I heard about importing. I thought I was going to be this master importer. So I went in and I negotiated a deal with a company in China for 3,000 mini motorcycles and told them I wanted a sample order of the same price at 30. That's all the money I had to pay for it. Sold them in less than a month. I remember getting kicked out of a local mall twice because I was rolling them through, passing out handmade business cards. Then I called a rent-to-own ad in a newspaper. The guy's name was Dave Murch, and at the end of the phone call, he said, son, look, you're not the guy to rent to own my house, but you make a much better real estate investor than renting to own my house. And told me about the real estate clubs in D.C. and Baltimore. You're not going to believe this. You're really not. But in high school, I was voted most gullible. So I believed I could buy houses no money down. And you're definitely not going to believe this. It worked. Got the transactions to prove it. Maryland has a database called Real Property Search. Look it up. So my first purchase was called a division of proceeds. That's where I offered the homeowner X number of dollars for his property, and I was allowed to make everything over X. So I fixed it up, did a lot of the work myself. Feel bad for the homeowner. Anybody knows me, I'm horrible at construction. Oh, let me put this here. What's going on over there? So I sold it, and 2 weeks before I sold it, I left my job, and I never looked back.
Wow. How much did you make on that deal?
About $70,000.
Nice. So the owner sort of you worked out a deal with them where they haven't transferred the title to you yet, right? So like you just go in and
where I make a deal where I'm buying their property for X, and I'm allowed to make everything over X, and I got so many months to sell it, and in this case, I gave the homeowner $900 a month.
Oh, okay. All right. So basically, you give them $900 a month, and then in that time. You fund the repairs, is that correct?
Yes, I fund the repairs.
Yeah, so you fund the repairs, and then you sell it, and out of the deal you made 75,000. That's phenomenal. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. The repairs were probably about 33,000 at the time.
Okay.
So it went pretty well.
And how did you find the money for the repairs?
How did I find the money for the repairs? The money I made selling the motorcycles. But
nice.
It really wasn't that much. I did a lot myself. I think the repairs are maybe 20-some thousand.
Okay. That's awesome. Wow.
Just like you, Tim.
So how, I'm just curious. So obviously you got this entrepreneur bug at a very, very young age.
I remember when I used to get birthday cards, I used to hide the money thinking of how much it would be one day. I used to help my parents out a good bit, and I ended up helping them and giving them a lot of the money. My dad worked real hard. He always had 2 or 3 jobs, 6 kids. But, he was bad with money, and it was hard supporting a family. So, I ended up moving around a lot when I was younger. Actually, I think I went to 6 or 7 different elementary schools. We used to get the clothes on the porch and a donation of presents around holiday time. So I've always been motivated. And one of my biggest goals was to help my family out and take care of my parents. So about 7 or 8 years ago, I had the opportunity, and I took it. I bought the home my parents lost to foreclosure when I was younger.
Oh, wow.
Fixed it up and moved them back into it.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Wow. Wow, that's a super inspiring story, man. And yeah, I love how life works like that sometimes, these challenges that we run into life becomes our greatest asset. Right? It allows us to get to the next level.
Right.
So that's great. So now, fast forward a little bit, right? You recently took a picture with the mayor of Hagerstown, right? And
you mean the governor of Maryland?
I'm sorry. I thought it was the mayor, the governor of Maryland. Dude.
No, the mayor of Hagerstown. I got his cell phone number. That's the governor of Maryland.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I've met him a couple times. Believe it or not, he remembered when he met me 7 months ago. We were both doing a thumbs up this time.
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, we did a thumbs up last time. We got to do something different. So he pointed to me and said he did it, and I pointed to him and said he did it, and that's how we got that picture. Okay. Actually, great governor. He's brought the state from 49th in state economies to 11th. He's been really great for the state of Maryland, really reached across the aisle.
That's amazing. Now, share with us, how did you even get into that kind of connection? And maybe even touch us a little bit on what kind of deals have you done? And then lead us into this how you even met with the governor and all of that stuff.
Well, probably 12 of my first 15 deals were creative. Then I started raising money from private investors. And then, years later, I started working with banks. The first couple of times I walked into a bank, it's funny. Recently, I ran into the local bank president of Bank of Charlestown. He said, I remember you when you came into office 10 or 11 years ago. And I said, this kid's either going to be flat broke, be really rich, or die trying. And, now I work with banks a lot. I think I had 12 or 13 million in bank loans. But,
nice.
For the first 4 years, I didn't have bank loans. My first 15 deals, I did them creatively with no money, using other people's money. And one thing that I based my reputation on integrity. I've always done what I say I'm going to do. And, it's really worked out for me. In other words, when the market dropped and when problems came up, I'm not going to say all my deals have been wins, but I got a rule in life. If you make more money than you lose, you're going to be all right. And for all my trials and all my learning lessons, over $1 million, I paid for myself, never asked any favors. So I have a flawless reputation, which has enabled me to get large lines of credit. Like I tell banks, I feel bad for them. They deserve more interest. They should lend me more money so I can pay them. I really just want to help.
I love that. Awesome, yeah. And what are some of the properties you've owned besides single family homes?
Well, when I first started, I've only dreamed about this, but recently I bought a 40,000 square foot office building, filled it up when everybody said I couldn't, when it was hard to fill property downtown, did it in 18 months when most buildings would take 10 years, did a $2 million renovation for $1 million because I was my own GC, and filled up a 40,000 square foot office building, and then I couldn't help it, man. I'm a dreamer. I accidentally bought another 40,000 square foot office building downtown. I think I'm the biggest owner of operable commercial space in Hagerstown besides the city.
Wow, that's amazing.
But I bought, fixed, and sold hundreds of homes. I've wholesaled probably hundreds of homes. I have 147 rental units. Used to have 200. I started out with nothing, grew up without. My dad always worked hard, taught me a lot about work ethic, and he definitely put his time in, worked over 100 hours a week, but we never had much, and I've always been motivated to make money. I never had a doubt that I do something good. And what I love about real estate is I can help people. I can go in, I can create win-win solutions that make sense for the homeowner. They get a great hassle-free solution. They don't have to pay a real estate commission, closing costs, give any of that nasty seller assistance. They don't have a home inspection. And it's a win for all of us. So I love helping people, and that's what real estate's enabled me to do. Plus, I do a lot of charity stuff. For Girls Inc., I donate them a large obstacle for their 3,000 girl obstacle course. I just went to Jamaica and built wheelchairs.
Oh, wow.
And I just love the field. I get to meet great guys like Tim Mai. Ask about it.
Thanks, buddy. Wow. So, and then, okay, so now let's go into how did you get in contact with the governor and, get into that circle? And maybe run for president?
I had a state office in one of my buildings. I had to move them to move bigger tenant in. I wanted to keep them in the building. So I said, well, what's the next event that the governor's going to be at? I found the next event. I called up, was able to talk to one of his secretaries, got tickets to his tent. I went up to him, I talked to him and said, hey, remember me? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Love what you're doing with the state.
Nice. And I mean, that I think that's one of your secret to success is that you are just absolutely unstoppable. It seems like you have no fear, no shyness in you. It's like whatever you want, you just go for it. Yeah. I mean, share with us like what how did you become like that? Is that something that you just kind of hone your skills on, or is that something you kind of born with? What is it?
Well, I used to sometimes get nervous when I talk to attorneys or people like that, but everybody's just a regular person. It comes naturally. I love talking to people. Believe it or not, I'm an introvert. Just kidding. And I go up to everybody. I remember when I started real estate, I used to hold these things I called mini seminars. I'd be in the line at the grocery store, in line in Borders. I'd start talking to everybody, and I'd say, hey, guys, I talked to a whole group at once. How many of you guys drive by a house that needs work or for sale by owner? They all raised their hand. I said, how long does it take to write that down and refer it to someone? They all said 1 minute. I said, what if it takes 5 minutes? If you refer me 20 houses, chances are I'll close on one. My name is Mike Fitzgerald. I buy houses. I make it make sense for homeowners. And usually 1 out of every 10 people would refer me houses. And even today, we get 30 to 50 referrals a month. I was at a Man of the Year event in Hagerstown recently, a tribute event. And there was over 100 tables. And all the breaks before and after, I went around to every table, introduced myself, and said hi, and said what I did.
Dude, that's awesome. That's definitely.
I swear I'm not running for politics. Although I believe in this country, the people that made it a great country yesterday and today, and even more important, the people that make it a great country tomorrow. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding about that, but I'm not running for politics.
Well, I say you so totally should.
Will give me $2 million so I can pay my overhead for 4 years. When I started out, I had no overhead. It was great. I'd make $20,000 flipping a house. I'd have $19,000 a month later. But now I got overhead. I can't slow down at this time, and quite frankly, they just get torn up too much. It's not my thing. But I wanted to do my mini political speech. I thought you'd like that.
Yes, I like it.
Blame it on the ADD.
Well, and then at one point Bravo did a TV show on you. So share with us.
Well, no, I had a local show called Mike's Real Estate Madness. I chose to give it up because they sent one person to follow me around. It was just tough, but it was one of the most popular shows. Just recently, Silver Sound Productions, who got an Emmy last year, and does a lot with Bravo TV, followed me around once a month from 6 o'clock in the morning till midnight for 6 months. And they're going to come out with some pilots. It's going to go on Hulu and Netflix. My life really is crazy. I flip more houses than almost anybody in TV. I'm really doing it, for the exception of our friend Corsini. I really have a hectic office, and some people like to see that. Plus, I can show people how to do the job right, what materials to use, and how to get the job done. Watch my TV show.
Awesome. So let's do that. Give us 3 of your best tips on how to be a super successful.
Even if you're just starting, don't turn away from a deal. I was in my 1-bedroom apartment, and a farmer called me up to sell me his farm for $700,000. Did I have $700,000? No. Did I have $50,000? No. I made a deal to buy it for $600,000, $575. I made a deal where I could subdivide the farm. We did some other things with tree rights, and I could sell any or all of it towards my purchase price, and the rest would move into a mortgage held by the farmer at 5%.
Oh, wow.
I thought the subdivision would take me 4 months. It took me 15. I had to take the county to appeals. I got the subdivision. In the end, I netted over $1 million in equity. Did the deal, no money down.
Nice.
And but I chose to hold it. The market dropped. That equity went down to $500,000. Learned one of my biggest lessons. I could have sold it all for over $1 million. It was my personal home for 10 years and paid for a lot of my real estate learning lessons. I paid, if people just go to real estate associations, ask questions, buy some real estate courses, I own over a dozen. They're going to do really well. I went to the school of hard knocks. When I said I wanted to own a rental property and I wanted 100 properties in 5 years, I got 100 rental units in a year and a half.
Wow.
So obviously that's called me some learning lessons. I call it the life of a hypermaniac. But, I just did it. So one of my biggest pieces of advice in real estate, don't turn away any deal. Think about how you can make it work. I pride myself in creative real estate deals. A lot of people say I'm an old soul. I make deals with people all the time. Somebody wants $80,000 for their house. I want to pay $60,000. I give them $80,000, but I'm giving them $20,000 down. They're holding the $60,000, and this is a true deal, by the way. They're holding $60,000 in a principal-only mortgage for 10 years.
Wow.
And I'm borrowing $80,000 from the bank, walking away with closing with $20,000, and then renting the home out for $1,200.
Nice.
I love creative deals. I'll make a deal. I'll pay people more money as long as it's a win for them and a win for me. And the win, a lot of people get this wrong, isn't always based on the number. It's based on the terms. Just do what you say you're going to do. Don't do a creative deal if you're not going to be on point. One thing I've always done is did what I say I was going to do and always followed all my terms. Now, there's been times some people have come to me and said, Mike, we ran into a problem. I just give them the money. I work with them. I want everybody to be happy. And I get a ton of referrals from people who I bought their home before. My second lesson in real estate, and this is very important, and don't tell anybody, Tim, it's my secret formula. Action plus action equals massive action. Massive action equals massive results. That's really the biggest trick. That's
right.
Trick number 2. Tip number 3.
Hold on real quick before you go to tip number 3. I want to talk about tip number 2, right? I mean,
Are you talking about the first tip or the second tip?
The
second tip or the first tip? I'm just kidding. That's from Seinfeld.
Right. So action plus action equals massive results, right? That sounds really great, and especially someone who's like hyperactive.
I want to get it quoted on Google. Nobody better take that, gosh darn it. I made that up years ago.
Right? I mean, it sounds easy, but to actually put that into action and do massive action to get the massive result is a different story. What are some of your habits that allows you to just action like that?
Write down what you have to do and just do one thing after another. Don't think about it. Just do it. Nike said that, and I took it to heart. I'm gullible. I'm just playing. It works.
Yeah, I believe that about you. Don't think about it. Just do it. You're totally that, right? Yeah. So
yeah,
great.
I mean, some thought, but think about it quick. Don't make things complicated. And that's my third rule. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate anything. Keep it simple. Like when I go to the bank and I want a large line of credit, I say, look, if I were a 7-Eleven, I'd have 150 different products. And those products would cost me $70,000, $80,000. But I'm not. I'm a real estate investor. 2 or 3, 4 products cost me $1 million. But look, I don't need the money. Plenty of people will lend me the money. Would it make more sense with the money? Yes. I can make things simple. If you keep it simple, real estate's easy. Don't complicate it. Don't think about it too hard. Don't think about marketing for 10 months. And then think about buying the deal for 3 weeks until another investor buys it. If the numbers make sense and you're buying the property right and it's a win-win, just do it. And that's my third rule. Can you see how they all tie together?
Yep. Yes.
By the way, my disclaimer, just do it. It's coined by Nike. Okay.
All right, awesome. So what's next for you? I mean, you've done so much, so many different areas, everything from done tons of, real estate deals, single family homes, a farm, office building, everything from private money to millions of bank loans. What's next for you as a real estate investor or as an entrepreneur?
everything coordinated. I want to get my office running like a machine. I want to get other acquisition people. I do a lot of my own acquisitions.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I want to look at the bigger picture. I'm looking at condo deals. I'm looking at other markets, virtual markets. I don't mind training people in groups. I'm looking at maybe having a once or twice a year training. I enjoy what I do, and I find opportunities everywhere. The difference between people that get opportunities and people that are super successful or people that take opportunities. And listen, guys, there's a lot of folks that it doesn't work out for. But when they try something, but if you stick with it and you keep at it, it's always going to work. Maybe I've lost money in real estate before, but I stick with it. It took me 3 months to get my first deal. If I quit on if I quit on 2 months and 3 weeks, would I have got my first deal? No. If you stick with it, if you believe in it, if you see it, if you have the vision, you're going to achieve it. I guarantee it.
Awesome. Great advice. And one of the things that I like, a lot of entrepreneurs, I'm sure you find yourself at this as well, right? We're very controlling. We like to control everything, right? We like to do a lot of part in our business. In building out your acquisition team, are you thinking about you are also going to be one of the acquisition people, or do you plan on stepping back?
No. I just want to come in to make when I'm needed and to make the big deals possible. I love deal making, and I can make deals all over the place. But I don't want to be my own acquisition person. I have one kind of acquisition guy right now. I want two more and a salesperson. Then I want to look at possibly taking on virtual markets, and then I'm considering like a once a year training.
Gotcha.
Where I just get 50 people together and go in for 3 days and just train. Make a bunch of real estate moguls.
Right. Well,
they made a song a couple years ago. They said, Mike, you told them, right? You can make them a real estate investor overnight. That's for you because you live in Texas. I don't know if you got that or not.
I didn't, but I got it now. I said I didn't
get it,
but no.
No, the song by the rapper Twister. I can make you a celebrity overnight.
I gotcha.
I just reworded it for me. I do that a lot with music.
Right, and you know what? Like, I can totally see you would be super successful, and you'll be able to help a lot of students succeed too. I remember a story you shared with me how you got one of your students, you took him to a bank, and
Oh yeah. I took him to a bank. He paid me to come out there for 3 days, $25,000. By the time I left, I secured him a $500,000 equity line to go into local banks. He got his first deal in 3 weeks, and he'd been going to high-end real estate seminars for over a year. Now he does over a dozen deals a year, makes a lot of money. I'm super proud of him. They live in Washington State, 3,000 miles away, and I made him real estate masters.
Yeah. And I mean, I can totally see that. I think like everything that you touch, dude, it's like it turns into gold, right? You just make it happen.
Well, it's exponential, and they partnered up with me on their first 3 deals, but now they're doing so well, it's incredible. They bought a duplex under market, and it doubled in value in 18 months.
Wow.
They literally made like $200,000. They're doing great.
That's awesome. Well, cool.
Bellingham, Washington. Also, I tell everybody when I meet them, look, I pay referrals if you refer me a real estate deal, and I do. I pay people between $500 and a couple thousand. Last year we paid a $10,000 referral because the deal was good enough. Right now, I'm not only paying referrals for real estate. I've been single for the last year, and I'm looking for a smart, motivated, intelligent, amazing woman. So, because I hear every amazing guy is a super strong woman, so I'm also paying a referral fee for my future wife.
Awesome. And how much are you paying for this referral fee here?
It depends if it works out or not. To be determined.
Yes. Have you been
I'm just playing, kind of, not really.
Have you been on one of those like millionaire matchmaking type thing?
No.
Maybe try that. You might find a really strong woman that way.
Well, I think I'm going to find one on this interview because I know you got some super smart people that want to learn real estate. They're super motivated and want to get everything out of life that'll make me even better. And then I can go instead of being where I'm at today, I'll be competing with Trump.
Awesome. Well, so which brings us to the next question, and that is, I'm sure the viewers watching this video are probably totally in love with you now. where do you want to...
I love you more.
Oh. So where do you want to send them? Website, wherever you want to send them. And are there any resources that you're looking for that you want the viewers to bring to you, offer to you?
Yeah, refer me a superstar. I'm a single dad. I have a great son, but probably I'm thinking about doing a once-a-year thing. I'm coming out with a book soon with Robert Shemin, a national author.
Cool.
And if anybody wants to get a hold of me, now be patient with me. If I miss you, email me again. But my personal email is mike@GideonProp, GIDEONPROP.com, or mike@WeBuy, WEBUY, ANY, situation, SIT, Mike@WeBuyAnySituation.com, or Mike@GideonProp.com. Sorry.
Sounds good.
Hey,
good.
man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. You know what my problem was in high school?
What's that?
I'd sit there and say a class started at 1 o'clock. I'd say from 1 to 1:05 in my head a million times, I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to pay attention. Then at 2 o'clock the bell would ring, and I was like, when did I start daydreaming? And I used to always daydream about doing big things and having tons of people working for me.
That's phenomenal, dude. Yeah, so, all right, folks, you got it. Email.
Hey, and I just want to say Tim Mai is a superstar. Not only is he a great guy, he has some of the most integrity out of any guy I know. He's an all-star coach, an all-star real estate investor. He's really doing it, guys. I have a ton of respect for Tim, and I'll tell you, reach out to him. He is one of the best, one of the brightest, and he can change your life.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'll definitely will send you my oatmeal raisin cookies.
Hey, man.
Saying that.
I always say, where's my cookie? I just got it done.
Awesome. Thank you so much, buddy. I do have one last question for you before I let you go. And that is, to me, the last question is this. To me, all entrepreneurs are heroes because of the commitment that we are for our family, our staff, our clients. As a successful entrepreneur yourself, do you see yourself as a hero?
Well, I see myself as a superhero. In my own head, I'm a total trip. I'm just playing. No, but I do like helping people.
Say that again?
I don't know if I see myself as a hero, but I like helping people. I like doing things for others, and I look at everybody in my office as counting on me, and I care about them. So every day I go out there, I do it for my son and everybody that depends on me.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Mike. Been an awesome experience.
No, I insist. Thank you more.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. See you on the next interview. Happy investing.
See you next time. Over and out.
And that's our show for today. If you have any questions or would like to get further training from Tim Mai, please visit our website at www.dodeals.com/Tim.